Let's discuss a few details about the EIDL4 Foundation exam. If you're like most of my students, you're probably taking this course because you want to become EIDL4 Foundation certified. Maybe you're working towards this certification to advance in your current career, or maybe it's because you're trying to get your first job in the information technology field. Either way, this course is designed to help teach you everything you need to know in order to pass that exam. To help you focus your studies throughout the course, though, it's important for you to understand how the exam is designed. The questions on the EIDL4 exam are focused on you having the ability to recall or understand the concepts from this course. Now, the words recall and understand are the key words here. If a question is focused on your ability to recall something, this means you have to be able to identify a definition or a term from the answer choices provided. For example, if the exam provides you with a definition for a particular term that we use in the course, it's going to provide it to you word for word the same way we presented it inside the course. And then you're going to be provided with 4 different terms, and you have to select the appropriate term that matches the definition given. Now, this is a great example of a question using the recall level of difficulty. On the exam, you're going to get 9 questions that are considered recall questions. For that reason, it's really important to be familiar with the definitions that we present in this course. All of these definitions are provided to you in the downloadable study guide, and they're going to be displayed on the screen whenever I'm teaching them to you. Now, if a question is focused on your ability to understand something, this means you have to be able to describe or explain a definition, a term, or a concept based on the answers provided. For these questions, the exam isn't looking for an exact word match. Instead, you might get an example of something and you have to determine the correct EIDL practice or term that relates to it. If you pay close attention in this course, you're going to learn the concepts of EIDL4 and be able to answer those questions on the exam without too much difficulty. Now, how do you take the official certification exam and become EIDL4 Foundation certified? Well, Excelos and PeopleCert make it quite easy because you don't even have to get in your car and drive to a testing center like many other certification exams. Instead, you're able to take the exam online from the comfort of your own home or office using the PeopleCert web proctoring service. To schedule your exam, you do need an exam voucher though, because this covers the cost of the certification exam itself. You can buy the exam voucher directly from PeopleCert on their website at a cost of $349, or you can go to diontraining.com and purchase your exam voucher at a special discounted rate of $299 that's available just for my students. Because we're an authorized training organization for EIDL4 Foundations, we're able to buy these vouchers in bulk and we pass the savings on to our students. Now, once you order, your voucher is delivered to your email within about 10 minutes, and you can then schedule your certification exam for the day and time that's most convenient for you. So now that you know what to study in terms of recall and understanding, and you know where to buy your voucher and how to schedule your exam, what's next? Well, let's talk about the exam itself. There's some key facts and figures that you need to know. First, the exam is timed. You're going to get 60 minutes to take the exam. Now, if you're not a native English speaker, but you're taking the exam in English, you can go ahead and get an extra 15 minutes of time on the exam if you request it during your scheduling. This will bring your time up to 75 minutes if you request the time extension from PeopleCert. Now, for all of us English speakers though, we only get 60 minutes. Don't worry though, 60 minutes is plenty of time for this exam. Most of my students finish in about 30 minutes. Now, as for the questions, the exam only has 40 questions, and the exam contains only multiple choice questions on the exam. So again, this exam is about recalling and understanding, not memorization and not comprehension in depth. So you won't have to write out a definition word for word or pull up an answer out of thin air. Instead, it's always an A, B, C, or D choice. To pass the certification, you have to answer at least 26 questions out of 40 correctly. This equates to a 65% or higher on the exam for you to pass it and earn your EIDL4 certification. To best prepare for the exam, I recommend you take a lot of practice exams. We've included quiz questions and 2 full-length practice exams with this course. When you're taking a practice exam, I'd recommend aiming for 75% or higher to consider it a pass, because this will give you at least a 10% buffer in case you end up having a bad test day or you get nervous when taking a timed test or certification exam. Now, this is because every time you take the exam, you have to buy a new voucher, and you only want to have to take it once. Now, I've said you're going to get 40 questions on exam day, and they're all multiple choice, but they are made up of 3 different types of multiple choice questions. We call these classic, missing word, and list. Let's take a look at each of these. First, we have a classic question. For example, which character was created by Walt Disney? A, Bart Simpson, B, Mickey Mouse, C, Fred Flintstone, or D, Garfield? Well, if you know cartoons, you probably know the answer is B, Mickey Mouse. Now, you may see a few classic questions on the exam that are shown as what we call a negative classic question. This is symbolized by the word not in the question. So if you're asked something like, which of these is not a car brand? A, Ford, B, Saturn, C, Cisco, or D, Toyota, you hopefully realize that Cisco is not a car brand, but instead is networking gear. In fact, Cisco is a very popular brand of networking equipment, but the other three are car brands. So we would say Cisco was the right answer in this case. The next type of question is what we call a missing word question. On the exam, this is shown by a question mark that would represent a single word or a short phrase of 2, 3, or 4 words. For example, A or an blank is a type of fruit. Is it A, apple, B, carrot, C, onion, or D, celery? Well, the answer is A, apple, because B, C, and D are all types of vegetables. This makes the sentence read as, an apple is a type of fruit. Our final type of question is what's known as a list question. You're probably going to only see 1 or 2 of these on your EIDL 4 Foundation exam though. These questions ask it so that more than one correct answer can be provided. So you're going to get a numbered list and you'll have to choose the right answer that represents 2 of the correct list items. For example, which ingredients are in a PB&J sandwich? 1, peanut butter, 2, apples, 3, bacon, or 4, grape jelly? Well, as a parent who made a lot of PB&J sandwiches in my life, I can tell you that the answer is 1, peanut butter, and 4, jelly. So we have to find the letter that corresponds with answers 1 and 4 in it, which in this case is D, and that becomes our answer choice. So now that you know all about the exam, I hope you're ready to start learning all about ITIL 4. Let's get started.